Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. Touchdown, defense.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down. On second down, Johnson. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 46. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Stafford now to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Alec Ogletree coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. To throw is Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Hauschka with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Go.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, but it'll be 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect on their first series.
60 Pittsburgh. Come on. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Protein spill. He's coming. He's gone.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
61, match box, big grip.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the line, 38.
Ready? 18, Gator. Hey, lock it. Greystone travels. 2.
On 2nd down, Barkley. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Hey, 40's Mike, right there. 40's Mike.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
Ready?
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Let's go.
We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2 touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Q26. I'm here all day.
Hey, Delta.
Get it.
Throwing Jones. And this is Shepard on the catch. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Hard. 26, Mike. 26.
A first down carry for Barkley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and now it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's bring it. Out. Check. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Rock it. Go.
Saquon Barkley running right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
Ready. 22 jet bomber. Hey, team 6.
Here we go.
Hit it.
On 3rd down, Jones toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Stay 50. Let's go.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Under 10, 10. Shoot. Take four.
Fair. Two draw Corkers. Hey, Haywood. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. 17 yards and a giant first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll run on first down. Barkley. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Yeah. Shoot.
From the 29, Jones. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deshaun Hand. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Get ready.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Let's see what you got. Check it back.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
You're set, 20.
6, right there, 56. All day, dog. Switch.
Real right, 22.
Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Set, blue 60. 0.
Check 41. Here we go, dude. Here I come. He's coming. Double up.
Double right.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking downfield for Joe. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On first down, it's Stafford. Open man is Higgins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They go play action here on first down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. To throw again. Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Shit! Watch the shit!
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
20.
On third down, Johnson. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things.
He's got daylight. 20. 10. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are back within a single score. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Elsewhere at Arrowhead, they're in the third quarter. The Chiefs continue to add on. They're really rolling. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Jim, hey, orbit.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Let's go now. 15 line. 15 line.
Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down.
Stay firm.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
One set. Check 26, check 26. Watch tight, tight end's right. Watch tight, tight end's right.
Now Jones, operating from the gun. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr.
Well, you were backed up into a second and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 40-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
61, matchbox lights.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Joker, 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 joker. Switch, switch.
Ready?
They begin with a run by Barkley. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. With it is Brown. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, 40's Mike, 40's Mike, right there, 40's Mike. Stay with your man.
Greystone, travel. 5.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
That's it, baby.
Anthony Barr brought him down. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
The Giants on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
26 Mike, 26 Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. 26 Mike, 26 Mike.
Jones throwing on 4th down. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Operating from the gun, Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Check safety. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
General West.
On 1st down, Barkley. And some room to work. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's complete to Slayton. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Jones now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Jones now from the gun. He'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Watch it. Check 52.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Petty will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. PAT up and good by Rosas. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in place. So and look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And growing pains as an NFL QB, they're going to happen. He's played pretty well in this one. They still have the lead, but those moments, interceptions, pick 6 is occasionally going to happen.
Rookie, Rookie. It happens, right? Just what you mentioned. Played pretty well in this game, and now his teammates will jump in and go, okay, we're having a good game. That's one blip. Let's go ahead and get back on track right here, right now, and we'll be okay.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Set. 180.
Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Push him back. Check 99. Check 99. Be good. Be good. Be good.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley, they'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Come on, D.
Hey, Echo.
Hey, Mike 40, Mike 40. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
2nd and 6.
Slip.
And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now. A hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line.
A gain of 6 yards on the play. Brings up fourth down.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Giants, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.